Welcome once again to Board Gamers and happy Movember, everyone.
Yes, indeed, we've swapped our zombie blood and guts for some seriously awesome mows to raise awareness for a great cause.
Don't worry, it's not all about our terrific tashes, though.
No, wait, Jim, sorry. I just can't pretend having some upper lip fuzz is awesome or terrific. I feel like a 70s porn star, and you look at least 80% more sex pesty.
I don't know, Greg. Who's the wide gaming dude whose tash looks slightly crude?
Jim!
Damn right.
Coming up in this week's show.
Sunset Overdrive is completely bonkers.
That didn't really work out for me, did it? Look at James is looking pretty confident.
News!
So, sporting a awesome tash or not, it doesn't change the fact that the news always follows our intro. So, here we have the news.
Yes, very Anchorman there, Greg. Yes.
Thank you. I feel a little Ron Burgundy-esque, so that's good.
Yes. Well, that's the way it should be, quite frankly, in Movember. Yes, the news this week, the big story, if there is one, but I think it's a pretty cool story, really. It's not really a story, but it's something I discovered online, which I think is very cool. The Internet Arcade is a web-based library of arcade coin-operated video games from the 1970s through to the 1990s, emulated in JS MAME, part of the JS MES software package. That's a cool name for a software package.
JS MES.
Basically, it's a website that contains hundreds of arcade games ranging from many different genres and styles. It provides research, comparison, entertainment in the realm of video game arcade. So basically, it's a big web page full of something like 700 arcade games. You click on it, it emulates it in your browser, and you can play an arcade game just like you're in the arcade.
There you go. My news in board games this week is only really one thing that I'm going to talk about today, which is the world of smog on Her Majesty's service.
The world of smog? You mean London, sir?
Yes, that is the one, yes.
Victorian London, anyway.
Victorian London, no less. The World of Smog on Her Majesty's service, it's a game that's been kick-started by Cool Mini or Not, the studio that brought you, at least half of the studio that brought you games such as Zombicide, which have done exceedingly well on Kickstarter before. Yes. This one has 3 days left to go.
How much have they raised?
Well, they needed to get 25,000 to reach their pledge, and they've at least doubled that. They're on 59,007.
Ooh,
rather fitting.
Very good.
So there's 3 days left to go, but if you pledge on that, you will get that, so that's good. So it'll be one that we'll be looking at and hoping to do a review of in an up-and-coming show.
Excellent, sounds good. Grand Theft Auto 5, for those who've been living under rocks, it's coming out on Xbox One and PS4 in upgraded fashion, and that new version is going to include a first-person mode, so you can actually walk around shooting, maiming, blowing people up with flamethrowers, etc. in the first person, so that is pretty cool.
Well, this is what you want. Doing it in the third person isn't the same.
A new company is claiming that its DRM system is unhackable. The DRM in question is developed by Devereaux, and it's managed to keep PC versions of Lords of the Fallen and FIFA 15 from being pirated so far, so that's working out quite well for them.
Fantastic.
New releases this week: Assassin's Creed Rogue on PS3 and Xbox 360, Assassin's Creed Unity, the PC, PS4 and Xbox One, that's the one everyone wants to play. Halo the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One.
Looking forward to that.
That's looking really good. Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham on pretty much everything. World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor on Mac and PC. And a personal favourite of mine, Tetris Ultimate on 3DS.
Well, there you go. Well, in the words of Lego Batman, that's it for the news.
Review! Cover mechanic, right? Sunset Overdrive tries pretty hard to be cool. Fortunately for us, and for them, I suppose, it is. That's right, this is no dad at his teenage son's party trying to be hippity-dip-dop with the cool kids. Insomniac Games' colourful monster masher is certifiably #the shizzle. Okay, so I'm probably not the best to judge what's cool with the tweenies these days either, but when talking purely in terms of open-world third-person shooters, Sunset Overdrive gets the balance just right between style and substance. The first thing you'll notice is that this game doesn't take itself too seriously. Nope, not in the slightest. Not only is the art design deliberately cartoon-like and highly stylized, but so is everything else. Even the dialogue is littered with self-referential quips and over-the-top in-jokes, such as the literal voice of God shouting at you over what sounds like a loud, noisy tannoy system telling you what to do. The line,
"He didn't have an icon dealy thing on his head, so am I supposed to chase him?"
in particular made me chuckle. The year is 2027 and you, the player, are working a dead-end job cleaning the streets of Sunset City. A typically evil corporation, Fizzco, has planned a spectacular launch event for their new unstable and untested energy drink, Overcharged Delirium XT. Before you know it, everyone in attendance has reacted to the toxic substance and mutated into hulking monsters, spreading the OD'd apocalypse across the city like wildfire. Fortunately, you've been spared the mutant madness and just so happen to possess superhuman-like acrobatic abilities, allowing you to traverse the city via spectacular leaps and grinds to avoid the swarms of pesky ODers. Speed and agility are your best defense. Unfortunately, no Schwarzenegger-like standing and obliterating will work here. The key to survival is quick movement, which not only gives the gameplay a sense of tension, but also a decent amount of pace too. In addition to your parkour prowess, you'll have access to an impressive arsenal of weaponry. Yet again, the style is highly imaginative, with just about every crazy and creepy combo you can imagine on offer, such as TNT teddy bear launchers and acid garden sprinklers. Although cartoony in look, the game is most definitely pretty adult in theme. You'll be able to upgrade your weapons using special amplifiers and badges that increase their lethalness, and increase the amount of damage you do by filling your style meter, the gauge that measures how fluidly and quickly you traverse the environment. Even if you miss a platform or fall from a great height, the game doesn't punish you. In fact, it makes the experience more fun than it should be, with portals to catch you and fling you back to where you were before in a variety of amusing ways. It did take me a good while to get used to combining all the different actions of jumping, grinding, shooting, melee attacks and weapon swap outs into anything resembling a fluid action. In this area, some of the control inputs could have been more refined, in my opinion, as it's not quite instinctual enough. But overall, it's a minor niggle. Once you get through the opening section of the game, which serves as a protracted tutorial, you'll end up in an open world which feels like a mashup of GTA 5, Infamous Second Son, and a rather large tab of LSD. Seriously, Sunset Overdrive is completely bonkers in nearly all the best ways. There are numerous survivor NPCs of every imaginable stereotype loitering in the city with missions for you to accomplish and errands to run. Very much the standard model here. For me, the missions were brief and varied enough not to get boring too quickly. And if you do fancy a bit of carnage without context, there's plenty of OD'd all over the city to mess with and hone your superhuman skills. Like a lot of open world games though, the place does feel empty most of the time, which is a shame. There's also the online mode to explore, accessible via phone booths spread throughout the city. Named Chaos Squad, up to 8 players face challenges ranging from destroying small hordes of monsters, protecting convoys, and stylishly climbing structures. Although they work together, players also try to earn more style points during play than their co-op partners. With the right group of players, it makes for some crazy and fun epic moments. Sunset Overdrive never tries to get in the way of you having fun, whether it be the very welcome adult humour, which we haven't seen much of in the mainstream for quite some years, the fluid and flowing combat that never punishes you for getting it wrong, the crazy-ass weapons, the silly stereotypes and all the self-referencing. This game doesn't pretend, unlike so many others, to be a simulation of real life. It says,
"Can you save Sunset City? Can you? For the love of God, can you?" Of course you can. It's a f***ing video game.
This, my friends, is a very refreshing development indeed.
So what seems like an enthusiastically positive review there. It's getting great reviews all around.
Certainly is.
What, in a nutshell, how would you describe it?
What I love about Sunset Overdrive is that it's not apologetic about being a computer game. It's basically just saying, this is a game, you can do whatever you want. You know, conventions of trying to pretend this is a real world and we're trying to make it all sort of realistic. Nah, forget all that. You're just a crazy, amped up dude with crazy hair and clothes and everything's colourful and cartoony and you're jumping around a city shooting monsters.
That's brilliant in this day and
Yeah,
age. So.
it is.
So, but don't take our word for it. Let's see what we've given it as a star rating. So let's have a look.
Walls
4-star. Excellent game.
Forza, excellent
game.
Certainly in comparison to PS4's Driveclub.
Yeah,
so
indeed.
this could be one to sway the balance of people getting a new console. But let's quickly look at the boardometer rating.
It's not very boring at all, because you know what, you pick up and play and you jump around, you shoot mutants, and you do it in whichever way suits you, really. So, yeah, not very boring at all. A very good development indeed, Greg.
What more to say? If you've got Xbox One, get this game.
After the break.
Lo Wang. I kid you not, that is his name.
That
Lo
is my
Wang.
name. Don't wear it out, Greg.
It's got shiny cards.
Nice,
I
okay, that's
haven't-
a good start.
Quick look. You got Wang.
How about we play a little just a tip? You feel lucky, chump? I mean, punk? Damn, I always fuck that up.
So this week for our quick look, we're having a look at Shadow Warrior. The,
Shadow Warrior!
Shadow Warrior, the reimagining of the sort of follow-up to Duke Nukem that came back in the day as such, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. You're playing the protagonist Lo Wang. I kid you not, that is his name.
That
Lo
is my
Wang.
name. Don't wear it out, Greg.
So as you can tell from the name that it's not taking itself too seriously. So you're the protagonist going around mostly armed with a katana, but you can pick up all sorts of funky armory along the way. So Jim's walking around sort of a paper house here trying to find some
something
demons.
interesting. Here we go. Yes, yes, there are lots of enemies. It's a kind of comedy demon slayer, very much on the lines of Duke Nukem. You come across all kinds of sort of crazy demonic enemies, and you have a katana blade which has special powers that you can upgrade. You have a bunch of other weaponry as well, and there's a lot of humour thrown in along the way. So, oh, here we go. Here are the bad guys. I'm going to chop into bits because that's what I am like.
So there's some lovely sort of gruesome bits as you slice them into different
I'm earning
parts.
karma.
And whereas in a lot of games, it's all about getting the guns as quick as you can. Throughout the whole game, the katana stays as one of your best weapons. In fact, in close combat, it's pretty much unrivaled. Whereas you can pick up crossbows and guns and the like, but ammo is fairly limited in this game. You haven't got this endless supply of ammo. So fighting up
You
close.
find money and stuff, though, and you can upgrade your weapons, and you pick up crystals, and you can do upgrades and special emblems and all kinds of things on your weaponry in order to progress in the game.
So I'd say it is quite a faithful update of the original game, which, as we said, was very much in the style of Duke Nukem, Doom, and that sort of games. Looked very, very, very similar. It's kind of kept the sort of the heart of this while still being updated and having better graphics and a lot more going on.
It's got pretty graphics. It's just come out on next-gen consoles.
That's a nasty looking dude.
Yeah.
So Jim's smashing through things. At the end of the day, he still gets katana. That guy looks like he needs to die quickly.
I hope so. He's going to kill me.
I believe you can also throw a ninja stars.
Yeah, 4-star.
4 shuriken. 4 shuriken there. For that
There we
level.
go. Ding, doing, 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 ding. There we go.
Ding, doing, doing.
Yeah.
And, what's that? It's a little moped.
There's a moped. I don't think I can jump on the moped. Which
No,
is a
that
shame.
would be pretty
It'd be nice
cool.
if I could jump on a moped.
Hacking things up with a katana while on a moped. That's what's missing in games, really,
Everyone's doors are
nowadays.
closed. I thought they'd, you know.
Do you think that has anything to do with the buttload of demons that are running around? I'd probably lock up the house, to be honest.
They're
You can go for that one.
Greg.
A gold flashing door represents that you can go through it. Jim is losing a fight with a lantern, so...
Yeah, no, this is one of the things you have to learn, you have to do in the game. You have to do a special combination of a move, I believe.
Yeah, I think like some of the older games, whereas nowadays you can button mash, they still have this...
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You still have to do this up,
It's a little bit
down,
frustrating because...
quarter turn, B, A,
exactly.
start thing. So,
yeah, that was forward, R2, and it was just a little bit Yeah, it's still a bit tricky.
So
to
they
get
have
right.
kept that from sort of
I
like
can blow
the
up a truck
retro
with
era.
one single shot there. Look at that. Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, the power.
You have got the most hench katana ever.
We do.
So,
We do.
so what are we finding now? Destroy.
Well, by destroying that, I destroyed a seal, which was blocking a door to further my path. I don't know where this door is. I'm trying to find it.
Gotta find there's
follow the monsters. That's always a good
snarly
to do.
beasties in the way. So, yeah,
Oh my god.
it's quite good. I like the fact that it does encourage a lot of close combat, sort of up close sort of
Bit of
fighting.
just a hack and slash it, really. I
really
mean, there's
is.
a good amount of humour in the game. Oh, is that a demon heart? Ooh.
Demon heart, are they good? What do demon hearts do?
Oh, you can end up throwing them and
Nice.
did there, and then it sort of
Let's throw a demon heart at the demon.
sort of
That's-
destroys the lesser demons you're fighting, which is pretty cool, I have to say.
I particularly like they've got some sort of wing thing on the back. It looks very much like a sort of a makeshift ladder.
Oh, there we go, through the demon heart, and look, they've all just been obliterated. So
Lovely.
there you go. If you fancy a bit of a fun hack and slasher, it's not full price because it's a remastered game from the past. If you like the original game, there's a lot of silly humour, lots of stereotypical sort of humour, and there you go, Shadow Warrior, a bit of laugh. And I'm dead! No!
It was an age undreamed of, but no more. Apples vowed never to kneel before the altar of oranges. It is I alone who can tell thee of this saga. Let me tell you of the fruits of high adventure. Descended from the ancient dynasty of Granny Smith. Cunning, ruthless, and graceful defender of the sacred pips.
Hoo-yah! Hoo-yah!
Greg Marshall is Apple. Master of the prehistoric art of squash. Unparalleled breaker of the wind. Legend in his own time. Jim Devereaux is orange.
Apples versus oranges.
So this week we have a brand new segment, Apples versus Oranges, where we literally pit the two unpittable things against each other, apples versus oranges, as we do exactly what they say on the fruit tin. We are going in a head-to-head fight of the board, card or dice game versus its pixelated opponent.
Yes, we are defying convention. You're not supposed to be able to compare apples and oranges, but we're doing it anyway because why not? We can, and therefore we will.
And this week the theme's The Walking Dead, be it of the comic or the TV series, and I'm looking at The Walking Dead card game from Cryptozoic, who have the IP and have also done a board game and a dice game. And I have chosen just one of them, and I might have picked the wrong one here. We'll find out.
And I'm looking at the Walking Dead graphic adventure series from Telltale Games. It's basically a graphic adventure series where you are placed in the position of a survivor in a zombie apocalypse, and you need to solve puzzles and make on-the-fly decisions to make big decisions about what might happen later in the game. And based on the choice you make will change the outcome of the game. So that's the basic story.
Let's be honest. I feel that I've got the duff hand here, quite literally. As I have a game that I'm trying to use other words than festering turd, but it's
Greg, surely it's not that bad.
Well, let's. I've got to fight.
Let's look at the positives,
I've got
shall
to
we?
fight my. It's got shiny cards.
Nice.
I
Okay, that's a
haven't-
good start.
I haven't received a paper cut from them as yet.
Did they spell The Walking Dead correctly?
I believe they did. The
Okay.
proofreader of this company has done very well.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's be honest. It's a game where they have taken a game that's not particularly exciting, a sort of a number strategy game with very little strategy, and they have pasted this theme over it very loosely. You sniff, you blow, and you'd actually get rid of the theme. It doesn't actually deserve the theme. You could have vegetables on here. You could have paisley wallpaper types.
That's
It's
all I can say.
terrible. In comparison
In
to...
comparison to the Telltale game series of The Walking Dead, which is just a fantastically fun adventure that has a lot of tension. It really drives the story on. It really has a sense of the actual television show as well. Very good, well-written characters. The art style is very nice. It's kind of got a slightly cartoony style. And again, it gets the balance right between sort of tense moments of political negotiation and, of course, when you're being attacked by zombies. So, it's great.
So that said, let's look at... I think it's a foregone conclusion who's won this one, but let's have a look at the score
Star
we've
rating
given
for the
the
computer
video game.
4-star, excellent game series, really great.
Excellent game. And let's have a look at the boardometer
Boardometer,
rating for
how
it.
boring is it to play? Not very boring at all. It's all episodic. It's broken up into nice paced moments. It's very good. Excellent game.
Fantastic game. I mean, that's 4-star online. That's on par with Sunset Overdrive. So
It is indeed.
A great game. On the other hand, and quite literally on the other hand, let's see what we have given the Walking Dead card game. Let's start looking at the star rating.
1 star.
1 star.
I might have given it 2-star for the strategy game, although probably not. But
Stinky.
the fact that they've just so badly just pasted Walking Dead IP on top of it,
It means
I've
nothing.
taken it back. I've
Yep.
taken that star back.
Wow.
So 1 star. And boring-wise, let's have a look at
How
the
boring is
boardometer.
it? Oh my God! Scarlet!
There you
Scarlet.
go. 10 episodes in, and we have got our very first 1-star Scarlet thing.
That is the worst rating you can get on our program.
It is.
folks.
I'm sorry to say, it's just not that interesting. It's a terrible waste of the IP, and we can only hope that Cryptozoic have done better things with the board and the dice game. But oh my God, it
So
is.
our very first apples and oranges, we showed you pretty much the two extremes.
And apples have been absolutely pasted. We are apple pulp.
Finish him. Game over. Still to come.
Aye, well, they're still part of the union, so we're allowed.
Smash those two genres together and you've got Velocity 2X.
Challenge.
Well, the first rule of Driveclub, Greg, is that you're not allowed to play it. The second rule of Driveclub is you're still not allowed to play it even after it's come out.
That does seem to be the rules of Driveclub.
That is the rule of Driveclub.
It has been besieged with problems. To
It
say
has.
that it has a bit of a rocky road before you even get to drive on a rocky road is an understatement.
I was hoping to review the PlayStation Plus version of Driveclub, but it hasn't come out on PlayStation Plus, unfortunately, because I had to go and buy it. I had to buy a game. Yes, but it's been besieged with problems to do with connectivity online because it is the social racer. That is the way it has been sold to the general populace.
Social racer.
Let's go and race in Scotland.
Scotland!
Aye, well, they're still part of the union, so we're allowed.
Aye, let's race Scotland. Is it bad? I want to
Well,
speak like
do it.
Sean Connery now.
Yeah,
Sure.
well, I have the moustache.
Jim's going to race in Scotland.
Any other ways we can offend anyone before we even start the race?
We've done a dodgy Japanese accent, now we're doing a dodgy Scots accent. This
So
is
yes,
brilliant.
you've got a few cars to choose in the game. Not that many cars to choose from. As you can see, I've only unlocked 2 or 3 so far. There's only a few different race modes. There's a sort of an event mode, which is kind of like the single-player campaign, as if you like. You get through it pretty quickly though, and then you've just got single races and time trials, basically. So that it's quite limited in terms of modes.
I think in this day and age, considering things like Forza Horizon 2's come out, and it's got this whole sort of story behind it. I mean, admittedly, it's a bit of a strange story that kind
Yeah,
of says,
man. Get to the festival,
come
man.
to a festival,
Go
man.
party and then drive a supercar.
Yeah, I mean, you've got that, and but it is at least a story, and it is something linking it. This is just saying, you know,
It's a
just
bit
come
dull.
race.
It's a bit dull, really. It's just like, yeah, drive, yeah.
Well, let's
Get in a
look
car,
at the positives
drive around
first.
Scotland a bit.
Well, let's look at the positive first. It looks glorious.
It does look
It is
gorgeous.
stunning.
Yes,
I mean,
let's be fair.
compared to
It's easy to bash Driveclub, so we won't be too harsh. But yeah, it's
compared to some of the games out there at the moment, it's on par with a lot of them visually. And I think that's its strongest selling point.
yes, it is pretty.
It just kind of falls down at every other level, really. The sound is very arcadey-like. It's kind of loud crunches and clunks, and
It's a bit off-putting almost. The balance doesn't sound right. So, I mean,
It
the
sounds-
crunches are a bit too loud. The engine noise is too low. So the sound picture's a little bit strange.
it sounds like they weren't sure if they were doing a genuine simulation or they were going for the arcade.
Well, that's the thing. It's
styly
one of the
thing.
key issues with the game. In our opinion, is that You know, I think they started off trying to do a serious simulation, and then it just sort of became, oh, let's make it more arcadey. Because part of their message is, don't worry about winning the race, it's about the style with which you go through corners. So that's a bit like saying, don't worry about winning the football match, just as long as you get all your tricks on the ball looking good, then it doesn't matter if you lose 5-0.
Well, speaking of going through corners, one of the things you notice straight away is it's one of the first racing games I've seen for a long, long time that doesn't have sort of speed indicators. As you come to the corners, it hasn't got the green, the yellows and the reds. You're just...
Apparently there are flags which indicate to you how severe the corner is, which I can't really see them, to be honest, as I'm driving.
I haven't seen a flag yet. There's green things there, so is this not... This is a shallow corner, maybe?
I think the colour of the flags or something like that is supposed to indicate how much you need to brake.
Oh, so that's a yellow. Okay, no,
they're yellow.
Get it.
Oh, that didn't really work out for me, did it?
And red, I presume, is a very,
it's a nice idea, but I like the original convention of just having the lines on the track, really, just to tell you when to brake. Maybe they figure that's too easy, but...
It is the standard, really, isn't it? It is. You do expect to see the colours going around the corners, but flags is different. Maybe some people might like that, and some people might see that as a refreshing difference.
Here are the different views. This is the view that they encourage you to use, and they have put a lot of work into the detail inside the car. That's probably why they encourage you to use it. So we spent months making that cockpit. So.
Again, graphically, it looks good, but I mean, considering the amount of problems being besieged with,
we also have to remember that. Oh dear! I crashed spectacularly there. This game was delayed by an entire year. It was supposed to be released with the launch of the PlayStation 4 as a free game on PlayStation Plus, and there's been a lot of bad news since then. Really, it's only been delayed by a year, but the PlayStation Plus version is a cut-down version, and that has been indefinitely postponed until they solve the server problems with the game. So it's really not having a great time of it at the moment.
It's not helping the PS4 in the battle of the exclusives.
Yes, because we're looking at a somewhat battle of the exclusives this week, aren't we, Greg?
We are a little bit, and I think that this game is not really doing well in PS4's corner. Xbox One, of course, has got some great exclusives out at the moment, and it has got some even more exciting ones coming up. We're not far from having the Master Chief Collection launched on Xbox One, and that's going to be something that's going to excite a lot of people.
Well, everyone knows what's in that, but the set is pretty cool. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that. That's another good reason to have an Xbox. So, you know, coming this holiday season, I mean, the PS4 is still superior overall, but Xbox is certainly hitting out the park with exclusives. And Driveclub, unfortunately, still leaves, in our opinion, PS4 without a great racing game.
It does indeed. I realise that we've gone for the whole segment. We haven't even mentioned the challenge here this week, which is rather obviously
the challenge
to win the race.
First and foremost, to get the game to work, which we managed.
This is our challenge. We've managed to get so far through the game, and it hasn't blown up or sort of melted the
other challenge was to try and win the race, which is not going to happen, I'm afraid.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen. I'll be surprised if we get to the end of the race.
Get out of way!
Get out of my way!
I can't get my Scottish accent working.
Everyone seems to have cars that are as good as yours.
I've got to go back to my castle in the Bahamas.
We're back to Sean Connery. Show Driveclub. It's interesting. It's not working very well.
Maybe it's worth picking up when the PlayStation Plus edition comes out. But before then, I'm in the lead. No, I'm not.
It's all over. For our quick look this week, we decided to look at a multi-award-winning title, Velocity 2X.
And we've been lucky enough to be joined by the founder of the company responsible for this fantastic game. James Marsden, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. So we like this game. We're very much excited about it.
We really do.
First time we've had someone join us for a quick look. We used to having guests.
I feel quite under pressure, in fact, because you know, as the rehearsal that we just had was proof of. I love this game. Haven't played it in a few weeks now, and I've totally forgotten all the controls. So I'm really sorry, James, about that. But I will do my best to show this off as best I can. And Greg, over to you to do all the talking stuff.
So what level are you starting off on? We're not starting off on level 1,
This is just level 8, so it's a little way into the game. You've got a nice little spaceship there.
So how would you describe this game to a layman who hasn't seen it? Obviously they can see it on the TV, but what would you say as a description? Because it has different modes, doesn't it? It's not all spaceship as such. So.
Yeah, I'd say remember the cool games from the 80s where you had a spaceship, and the cool games in the 80s when you were running around like Sonic the Hedgehog. Smash those two genres together and you've got Velocity 2X.
It does remind me, I couldn't tell you half of them, but I played games on the SNES and N64 that reminded me of these things, and yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's done exceedingly well, as we mentioned in the intro. It's Oh my God. So, we do apologise.
I've got stage fright.
There's no excuse for Jim doing this bad in front of the person who designed the game here.
This is the other mode of the game where we're in this sort of side-scrolling view. This very pretty lady and that fantastic soundtrack going on. And it's all about speed and agility and collecting points and hitting your marks as best you can, really, in a very sharp amount of time.
So going back to what you were saying about sort of 80s sort of influence, there is a certain amount of Sonic you can see sort of with the lady running around very, very fast in the sense it's a lot less, sort of meandering like Mario and a lot more sort of, let's get it done quickly.
Yeah, it's inspired by games like Turrican 2, if you remember that on the Amiga.
I don't think I remember that one.
That was the 360 shooting stuff and Super Probotector on the SNES.
Old school.
The art style massively influenced by Flashback, if you remember that.
Yes, I do. Now that one I do remember. That was a great title.
So we wanted to pay homage to those kind of games, but with a new spin. So this game's all about teleportation, really. You can teleport in your ship and you can teleport on foot.
We can see Jim is finally getting the
I'm getting
hang
my
of it
groove,
slowly.
Greg.
He's getting in the groove.
Just when you weren't looking and now you're looking and now I'm...
In fairness, with all the times that Jim has learned how to play, he's only just been told by by James here that he can shoot those
All right,
pink
don't
things.
tell everyone.
A little bit of a secret
Don't
there.
tell everyone that. Well, can we cut that, guys, in editing? Can we cut that?
No, we'll let them know that.
Just tell everyone that I'm really good, Greg.
Yes. Well, in a second we'll get James to play it, and then we'll pretend that it's you playing it.
Should we do that now? Actually, I
think we need to hand over to the expert, really, don't we?
I'm doing at the moment.
Okay, so
that was easy.
Hey, he did the end of the level. He did the end of the level.
there you go.
Okay, well, let's just load up the next one then and just...
Let's see where we can go.
Whatever level James fancy's doing here, just to give us a little more of a peek here. We haven't got much longer to look at the game.
So he's skipping forward to 14 here. This is...
everything's very fast-paced in this game. I love the pacing and the art style, and it's all about controlling these elements at a very fast speed, and it's actually really satisfying when you get it all together.
Wow.
As you can see from the amazing job James is doing, as he ought to, quite frankly, as he is the founder of the company. So,
wow, Jim, you're just being shown up here. He's making it look ridiculously easy.
To be fair, he is the person who ought to be showing me up, quite frankly. So this game came out on PlayStation Plus just a couple of months ago, and it's still available on PlayStation Store.
Yep.
Is it available on other platforms as well?
No,
Okay.
no,
Just on
it's exclusive.
PlayStation 4, and it's a beautiful game, and we've had a great fun looking at it today with James, the very best person to show us.
There you go. Get it now.
Coming up!
And Game of the Year, maybe. So we'll see. We could either be shown up or we're celebrating.
Here we go. Okay, round one. Fight!
Studio guest.
This week, our special guest needs no introduction. Quite literally, as we already met him earlier in the show.
Yes, the founder of the award-winning game studio Future Lab, James Marsden. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
So,
Well, I'm terribly sorry once again for that terrible bit of a quick look we did there at Velocity 2X. I really didn't do it justice, but we have to say we really enjoyed playing the game, and you're obviously doing fantastically well with winning awards and nominations, and in fact, Game of the Year is what you were saying yourself just a few months ago. So
Yes.
how's that all going for you?
Hopefully.
hopefully. So when do we find this out? When do we know for sure?
Probably at the end of the year.
Fair
in
enough,
January.
makes sense.
We are going to an award show tonight, actually, the Tiger Awards, which
Okay.
we're up for 6 categories, and Game of the Year, maybe. So we'll see. We could either be shown up or we're celebrating.
So when you were designing this game, when you were creating it, you've already mentioned some of its 80s influences. When you were creating, did you have any idea of how well it would be received and the acclaim that it would receive?
Yes.
Yes.
very modest.
We knew it was going to be amazing.
Just because Velocity Ultra was a really good game, and it won awards, it won Game of the Year from multiple outlets, and it didn't really get the coverage that we knew it would with a sequel. So we thought, we know this game works, we're adding something new with the platforming, we know the mechanics are solid, and so with the higher production value and the support we've got from Sony, we're going to smash it this time. And
Fantastic.
so
I'd like to hear a confident man there.
There we go. Well, we wish you well. We hope you get it. So how did it start out for you? How did you get into games design, and then what was the genesis of Future there?
Wow. Well, I'm a fine art graduate, so I graduated with no employability whatsoever.
But you had fun, presumably.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. But I realised that I wanted to be in the games industry, and realised that the barrier to entry was quite high. But at that time, in 2001, 2002, Flash games were becoming quite popular. So I thought, if I learn to make Flash games, then I can jump ladders. And that was 10 years ago.
So did you design any fun Flash games back then? What were your first experiences? Did you find it difficult at first to make that transition?
Well, we started Future Lab in 2003 doing kind of high street websites for estate agent, things like that. Trying to
Exciting.
Yeah, really boring.
Really like Velocity. It's about the opposite, in fact.
Yeah. But trying to sell them the idea of having games on their websites and things like that, and that obviously didn't fly. And I continued down that road for a few years and just realised it's not going to happen. So eventually just stopped taking any contracts because Future Lab was doing all this contract work for clients. Stopped doing any of that and just read about game engines, read white papers and things like that, and spent about 3 months working on an engine which then we pitched to Sony in 2007. And that started our relationship with Sony. They didn't fund the game that we pitched because we had no experience and we were asking like £4 million, and they said, no, we're not going to do that. But we will give you kits and we'll sign you up as developers and you can, work on things with us.
So 2007, that's an interesting time because that's just around the time, not long after the PlayStation 3 came out.
Exactly, yeah.
And interesting that you chose Sony. Was there any particular reason you chose Sony? Because certainly at the time, Microsoft certainly had a lot of traction with the Xbox 360.
Yep.
Sony were getting a lot of bad press with the PlayStation 3. Obviously, they've got a great reputation now for working with indie developers and smaller studios. So what was your motivation?
It was seeing Genova Chen, the guy, That Game Company.
Yes.
Who created Flower and Flow and obviously Journey. And reading about him getting that 3-game deal straight out of university with Sony, I just thought, that's the dream.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see any other major player giving that kind of risk to the creative side of the industry. And so I thought, that can be me too. And,
well, it certainly looks like Sony's backed the right horse. You've gone from doing sort of estate agents, or trying to sell estate agent things, to this roller coaster ride to winning Best Game of the Year and being nominated yet again. And so they've obviously done well out of you. So your relationship's obviously
must be on good terms with Sony.
Yes, yeah.
So what's the future for Future Lab? Is there a game you can tell us about that's coming up? Is there any sort of new things in the pipeline?
Is he going to tell us about you guys?
Are we going to get an exclusive now?
Spoilers!
The exclusive is that we are working on a new game.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's a game development company who
They're not
who are
working on an estate agent's website. They're working on a game, in fact.
Yeah.
Well, as you ought to be. So how do you feel about things as they are now? So you've had a great, successful run on PlayStation 4 with Velocity 2X. What's the future? Are you going to develop more for that platform? Are you looking at other areas? Are you going to expand the studio? Can you tell us anything about that?
All of the above, I think.
All of the above?
All of the above.
Yeah.
Are you
more of the
looking?
same.
Are you looking to stay in the same sort of genre, sort of science fiction, sort of?
I think there will always be some technical, techie edge to what we do. Even if it's modern day, it will be with advanced technology. And our games are all about making the player feel really powerful and have thrilling moment-to-moment gameplay. And so the next game will feel like that too.
As we look forward to that, we expect some more sort of dynamic, fast-moving action.
Yes, indeed. Well, wider questions. The industry itself, people keep talking about mobile as the future. Do you see yourself developing on mobile at all, or do you feel that, if sales figures are a good indicator, and they often are, it's all about the money at the end of the day, that consoles are very much in the zeitgeist still?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that?
So a couple of years ago, you couldn't open a website and read a games industry website without seeing a headline about how consoles were dead and how mobile was the future. And
every so-called expert, yes, in the city, an investor. And, it's all mobile. It's all mobile.
Exactly, and now PS4 is breaking records.
Yeah.
When we were working on Velocity on the PlayStation Portable, the first game, everyone we spoke to, and we've got, I'm quite into just asking advice from lots and lots of people. I have quite a wide network of people I talk to on Skype daily and I just send them concept art and say, what do you think? And they're not even in the industry, I just like to get their feedback. And so we have various mentors and all the business mentors just said, you should be working on mobile. What are you doing working on the PSP? And I just didn't want to I didn't want to sacrifice that dream of making, you know, a quality gaming experience that you can only really have with a controller. And I still believe that. And
It's quality over quantity, I guess. Because you look at the
Yeah.
mobile space now, and of course it is breaking records every year based on what it used to take. But you know, as we've seen, there's a bit of a crash there because there's so much on there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's poor
For
quality.
all the huge successes you have, there are thousands and thousands of people that never make another game because they just don't break even.
Well, it's certainly a good match for the console. It's dynamic and fun, and we like it a lot here at the
And I
Board Gamers.
promise I'll play more of it and I'll actually get good at it.
He'll get better at it than he has been. Well, considering how well you did in our quick look, and obviously it is your game, but you've clearly got some gaming prowess, so we're going to ask you to stay where you are and going to ask you to take on our retro video game challenge. And we say this to most of our guests, but in this case it really is true. We are expecting big things here. We are expecting you to smash it. If you're not in the top 3, we'd be very disappointed.
Okay, let's go.
So there you go. Let's see how he does in our retro video game challenge.
Studio Guest Communal Retro Video Game Challenge.
Well, it's that time once again. It's the Retro Video Game Challenge, and look at James is looking pretty confident. He's put his special Superdrive beanie on. He is ready for the challenge of Street Fighter 2, and you know what? I think he's being pretty confident on this one. So
we'll see.
So yeah, let's see what comes up with here.
So who's he going to go for? It's a big question.
He's
gonna go
picking
for
Ken. He's picking Ken.
Yeah, I suppose.
Douse him.
Douse him.
Chasing Douse him. Douse him's got the reach.
I'm not sure
But Ken,
that's
he's
good.
got all the Hadoukens. He's got the Dragon Punches. Let's see how he's going to go. Okay, round 1. Fight!
Let's see how it goes. Our guest last week lost
Come
with
on,
Douse him, but that's a good start.
That's a good start. Oh, and you know what? He is owning Dowsum at this moment in time. He's flying through. And,
fantastic.
He's got him dazed. He's got him dazed. And he didn't quite take advantage of the daze there, but he's
And
still
there goes the perfect.
Dowsum comes back with a great throw. And that's it. Wow, Dowsum flew across the screen.
Look at that.
Bang, just like that. Anyone would think you're a games designer. I don't know.
It's the poor performance.
An impressive first round there. Not quite the perfect, but he only got a couple of hits in the new.
20,200 on the board already. Round 2. Here we go.
Oh,
Dowsum, well, he's a bit pissed now. He's already throwing a few of the
He
big
gets
long punches.
first blood there, but
and Dowsum, he's coming back. Oh, yeah, don't tighten up now, James. Don't tighten up.
could
You know
this
what
be
you're
the
doing.
first
I
time that it
can't-
goes to 3 rounds?
I can't pull a dragon punch.
You can't
gonna-
put
That it is quite tricky.
It is
It's quite
difficult.
tricky, but he's got Dowsum blazed again, and he's got him by the corner.
Oh,
That's it.
look at
That's
that
enough
for
of
a
that.
combo
Forget
at
the
the end.
dragon punch. I'm just taking him out, just like that. And what's the score going to be? Let's have a look.
Look at those
It's
pixels.
going to fly out. It keeps going up like 39,700. Wow.
So I can tell you,
James, ready?
there's a coveted first spot. You haven't quite done enough, unfortunately. You're not
quite
far
make
off,
it.
but you have just squeaked into second place, beating the Axis of Awesome by 100 points. So there you go.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So fantastic there, and well done. The top of the leaderboard still to be claimed by a new challenger, Gordon Sinclair, holding on to it just about.
Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for this week.
Yes, as usual, hit us up on social media with your thoughts on the world of gaming. And don't forget, you can watch the whole Board Gamers TV series so far on demand via our website, boardgamersuk.com.
If you haven't already, you've still got a chance to win our fantastic bundle of prizes announced on last week's show. Visit our Facebook page for details on how to enter.
We'll be back the same time next week, though our moustaches may not.
You're damn right. Game on.
Game on!